Hey, Sonny here. It's been a while. So we are going to get back into music theory, and today I just want to kind of talk about uh, minor and major second. I covered minor, major third, perfect fourth, and perfect fifth in my other videos, in an octave as well. So this is a continuous study on intervals. Um, So basically, minor and major second, as the name sounds, second means the second note. So we are talking about second note from the root. So um, let's take C note as an example. A string on the third fret is a C note. So the minor second of that would be the note right after it, which is C sharp. So the minor second. Major second would be the whole step up, which is the next whole note, D. So that's major second. Minor second, half step, major second. And we talked about the one after that would be minor third, major third. So similar to minor and major third, you can play the major second in the next string together with it. So C, the major second would be D note. So instead of playing the next note on the same string, you can play the C and play the open D string. So you can get that sound in your head, what it sounds like. Well, actually, I love the sound of the second note, the major second. It sounds really cool, and you hear that a lot in different songs that combine with the D with the major second. Minor second very rarely used because it sounds very dissonant because those notes right next to each other. So let's just say if I'm playing the D note. If D is your root note, minor second would be D sharp. Now if I play the D on the A string and play the D sharp on the D string, which is the first note on the D string, you can hear it. It just doesn't sound good because it's just because the note is too close to each other. So major second is what we use a lot. So just talk about a pattern. Again, it's similar to major and minor third. You know, the two strings, if you play next to each other, if you play the first two string, low E and low A string, let's just say if I want to play the fifth fret on the low E string, which is an A note, and the major second would be a B note. So to play that, you can stretch out your hand a little bit. So B note on the A string is second fret. So if you play fifth fret on the low E and second fret of your A together, you get that major second interval. So basically, you can think of this way: you take the root note, you go down with one fret below it, and back up 3 fret. 1, 2, 3 will get you the major second. If you start from the second string on the A string, same thing. The interval will be you go down one note and go 3 behind. 1, 2, 3. So that's a major second for D, root note D. Same thing on the middle two string, G, the D and the G string. So if you play the fifth fret, which is a G note, the major second of it is an A. If you go down one fret and back 3 fret, they will get just major second interval. Now, as I talked about before in my other lesson, the only exception is between the G string and the B string, because the high B and E string basically is one note shift forward, up. So instead of stretching out, instead of going one note down, 3 back, only those two strings you go one note down and go 2 back. So if I'm playing the C at the 5th fret on the G string, instead of if you go down 1 fret and you go 3 fret back, that would be a major second and won't be, I'm sorry, that would be your minor second and won't be your major second. So you got that weird sound to it. But now if you think about it, C and D. D is the major second of C. So the note is that you go down 1 fret on the B string, you move back 2. So you will have the so the 3rd fret on the B string will be a major second of C, which is the 5th fret on the G string. If you go down to the very last string, go back to our normal, go down 1 fret and back 3 frets. So the 5th fret on the low B, the high B string is E note, and the major second of it is F. I'm sorry, F sharp. So that's how you find all the major second if you go to the next string down. So how do we use it to get your ear really trained to listen to major second? One chord we use a lot is a D2 chord. It's called an open D2 chord. So basically, the chord is open D string, G2, B3, and open E string, open high E string. Again, because E is the major second of D, so if you play that chord instead of playing the full D chord, you lift up your middle finger on the high E string on the 2nd fret and just play open high E string, will give you the D2 chord. So it sounds like this. You can hear the high note. That's a major second interval, and it's very distinct. It has a very distinct sound to it, so you can hear it every single time you play it. Just kind of get your ear get used to it. A lot of songs use 2nd note, especially acoustic songs. It just sounds really nice. Another good example is with something like Killer of Giant, like a C, to play a C2 chord. See, what I'm hearing is that you can see I'm playing a C power chord at the 3rd position. So I got A3, G5, I'm sorry, A3, D5, and G5. On the B string, I'm playing the 3rd fret on the B string with my index bar down. So that is a D note on the B string, which is a major second of C. So you got a C2 chord right here. But Killer of Giant, you use that 1 chord a lot, right? So you got the C2 chord right there, and you can just shift it up and down. So just kind of get your ear used to it. So major second is what we talk about here. And also, just to jump ahead a little bit, and I'll show you how to put your own chords together once you know your intervals. So somebody can tell you a chord name, and you can just kind of look at your fretboard and kind of figure out what notes you're supposed to play based on what your knowledge of the intervals between different notes. But to jump ahead a little bit, major and minor second can also be played in an octave higher. It would be called the 9th chord, the 9th note. Why is it the 9th note? If you think about it, the scale has 7 notes. On the 8th note, basically, is the octave. Basically, your root note will start again. So after the 8th note, the 9th note will be basically your second being repeated. So if I play C, let's start playing C scale, right? C is the 1st note, D 2nd, E 3rd, F 4th, G 5th, yeah, A is 6, and then B is 7th. Back to C is 8, and D again, which is 9th note, which is the second. Basically, it's the second note of C is D. So when we play an octave higher, that's a 9th note. So we use 9th note a lot for funk stuff, you know, like a D 9th chord. So yeah, so 9th chord uses a lot in funk music and blues and jazz. When you play the 9th, when you play this major second as 9th note, it's called either 9th or flat 9th. So you can basically the 9th note is your major second, flat 9th is a minor second, octave higher. Okay, we don't say minor 9th. Minor 9th does not mean that you're playing the second. Does not mean you're playing a minor second. So I just want to make sure we don't get confused on that. When we say minor 9th, we're basically playing a minor chord which has a minor third interval in it, but with a 9th note added. So the 9th note added is still a major second. So when I say minor 9th, or when people say minor 9th, you don't assume that a minor 9th is a minor chord with a minor second added. No, basically it's minor chord with major second added. It's called minor 9th. Sounds confusing, but just make sure when you hear the 9th note, it's referred to as either 9th or flat 9th. There's nothing called minor 9th to represent minor second. So so when we say let's just say if we say C 9th, that's basically a C dominant chord with the major second added on an octave higher. If I say C major 9th, that's basically a C major chord with the major second added. If I say C minor 9th, I'm playing the C minor chord with the major second added. Now if I say C major flat 9th, then I'm playing a C major chord with a minor second added to it. Minor second in an octave higher would be a flat 9th. If I say C flat 9th, that's basically I'm playing a C dominant chord with a flat with a minor second added as an octave higher. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's basically just to cover major and minor second. Oh, another good example for major second chords or 9th chord is the song by The Police called Every Breath You Take, and we're all familiar with the melody. For the first chord is like this. Right? So if you look at the chord, what I'm doing here is this is the A 9th chord. So you got your A on 5th fret, perfect 5th of A, which is basically this power chord, which is 7th fret on the A string. Now the 9th note I'm playing, the 9th fret on the D string, that's basically the major second of A. How do we know that? Because the A chord, the A note on the 5th fret on the low E string, an octave higher on the A will be the 7th fret on the D, and the major second of that would be this one on the 9th fret on the D. So that's a B note. So you know that is a 9th note of the A chord. And then we got this 6th fret on the G string here. So that's basically a major third of A. If you take that note on the 6th fret on the G octave lower, which which is a fourth fret on the A string, that is a major third of A. So this is basically a major ninth chord, because you have a major, because you have a major third interval, and you have a major second interval, an octave higher. So that makes it an A major ninth chord. And the next chord is a F sharp minor ninth chord. So again, same principle. Second fret on the low E string is your root note. That's F sharp. Power chord shape, perfect fifth up on the A string, fourth fret. C sharp is a perfect fifth of F sharp. And then the ninth note added right here on the D string, on the sixth fret, will be your ninth note of F sharp. Basically, this major second. Now the note we added here, second fret on the G string, that is your minor third of F sharp. How do we know that? Because F sharp minor third would be an A note. That's what the second fret on the G string is. It's an A note. So this is this is F sharp minor ninth. So again, this is a good example to show that when we play the minor ninth chord, we're not really playing the flat. We're not playing a minor second. We're still playing a major second, but we'll give it a minor characteristic as the third interval. Is it a minor third or major third? Okay, so I hope that hopefully that's a good example to tell the difference between, to clear up some of the confusion about major second, minor second, ninth, flat ninth, and minor and major chord. Thanks for watching.